And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. Reggie's having some issues here, but I think we're going to be okay. I'd like to thank everybody for spending your Wednesday night right here with us. Our viewers from Manitoba all the way to Newfoundland, on the Rock, and everywhere in between. So pour yourself a beer, and we got lots to talk about tonight, so I'll shut up, and we'll see you in 30 seconds. Ish.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As usual, my name is Drums, and as always, I'm joined by the brothers behind Kngdom, Regan and Jordan Headley. As we usually do about this time, we're going to send it all the way up north to D-Town, see what's going on with our boy, Reg. What's happening, big guy?
Hey, fellas. Still kind of recovering from getting to watch Tiger on the weekend. Haven't really settled down. I keep checking my phone to try to see what he's at, but the tournament's over. Now we don't get to see him for another 3 months, unfortunately. No, not much is up. Just waiting. It's fucking cold here right now, like really cold.
Brutal.
But
what a change of events from like a week ago, eh?
And then it's supposed to be like +3 on Saturday, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying a new thing tonight with these wireless headphones, so if I'm yelling, just let me know.
So far, so good. But we'll see what's going on out in Rossman at Casa de Jor. What's going on, big guy?
Top of the evening to you, ladies, gentlemen. And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Things are good here at Rossman. The house is sure a lot quieter than it was 2 days ago. That was a record amount of people in this house, and it survived. So we had one air mattress set up. Nobody slept on it, and a ton of dog hair everywhere. So I would say it was a
holy
successful weekend.
shit.
Yeah, that thing sheds.
But not much. I've just been I honestly can't believe it's Wednesday night already. And maybe, I guess, obviously the long weekend had a factor on that, but it's good to be back here. We got lots to talk about. I think everybody's been enjoying the Full Swing Netflix special, and we're going to be touching on episodes 2 and 3 tonight. So get ready for that. And yeah, it was good to have people out here. It was a nice change. How's things in Brandon Drums in the part 3 of the Bermuda Triangle of Manitoba?
Like Reg said, it is flipping cold. I don't know. I thought we were done with this shit, but apparently not. We got a couple more weeks of it, but I don't know. Thankfully, we got some golf on TV, golf on Netflix to get us through. To reiterate your thoughts, it was an awesome weekend. It was a good time to finally get out there. We're 2 months behind it at least, but it was good to get out there, have a few drinks, have a nice meal, a lot of laughs, a lot of drinks. So we indulged a bit. It was good though.
Did we have any?
Have you been on the YouTube learning how to put on snowshoes?
Okay, that was not my fault.
Yes, it was.
There was no instructions. Zero instructions. I just freestyled it, and I chose the wrong way.
So there was 10 of us out here for the weekend, and one piper, one dog. What's pipes? Great Pyrenees?
Something like that.
Mixed with a retriever.
I don't think so. I think she's a purebred.
Well,
we'll see. Anyways,
I think you're right, actually.
Reggie brought out 10 sets of snowshoes for everybody. We took a little jaunt through the trees into the forest, onto the golf course, had a beer on the course. Everybody laid in the snow. But Drums had a difficult start. He put his snowshoes on backwards right off the get-go and ate shit and took a little tumble. It was actually like a somersault about 10 feet out of the yard. So it
well, I had to go for the flip. Otherwise, I thought I was gonna like break my leg or something. I don't know. Just I was wearing them backwards, so there was like a pointy end at the top, and like that caught, so it sent me ass
It
over tea
caught and then
kettle.
your feet went through. Oh my
Yeah,
god, it
it
was
was a gong
absolutely
show.
phenomenal.
But that
It
was my
was
only
good
spill.
shit.
Everybody else went down.
Yeah, that's true. You pretty much picked the worst snowshoes to put on backwards too, because they did have a point at the end, and I think the other ones were a little bit more rounded. You might have got away with it, but yours were just like a peak. So I think you hit the snow and went
Yeah,
ass over tea kettle. So
and I think they were about 6 sizes too small for me too.
Yeah, I think you actually had the women's ones of those.
Either that or children. But
It was a shit show trying to put them on. We went
I
2
might as
days in a
well
row.
just
And I
wear my
didn't get to
goddamn
wear mine either
boots.
time.
okay, well let's get things going here with the show. We got some housekeeping. We got a ton of golf to talk about. Holy shit, was it a good weekend for golf? But before that, we got some people in the chat tonight. So everybody, before we get going here, let us know either your favorite live, your predictions for your favorite live team, or what episode you're on for the full swing. We're covering episodes 2 and 3 tonight. And while you're at it, take 2 seconds, click the like button. And like we said, we have no idea how much difference that makes in the grand scheme of things, but it's very easy to do. So let's get things going here. Drums. We've been making this agenda here, and you guys have been kind of hanging me out to dry here with these code words or something. I have no idea what you guys are talking about here, but the first one is Karl Malone.
Okay, so over the weekend it was the NBA All-Star weekend. I don't know, like, do you guys remember kind of back in the day the dunk competition, even the 3-point? It used to be like an event that everybody tuned into, even if it was just for that half hour or whatever. Um, that's kind of gone away. They bring guys specifically in to do it. Now the kid, like, they brought some like random white guy off. Uh, Maybe he was like LA's bench. I can't even
G
remember
League.
where he is.
I think it's G League he plays in. Like the guy that
Yeah,
won.
yeah. So it's just like
Yeah.
some random dude that comes in that's like sick at dunks.
Is that the guy that did a
But
720?
Yeah, yeah. So
apparently he's like he posts his dunks all over TikTok all the time. Like he's like a viral dunker. Apparently, that's what I heard.
okay, so two things to that. Would you guys tune in if the NHL did something similar? Like you remember last year how Zegers had that really sick shootout move, where this year he wasn't in the All Star game, so that he didn't attend. Where if they decided just to bring him or even that guy off Instagram,
Pavel Barber.
yeah,
Barber.
if guys like that came in to do stuff like that, I think. Do you think that would bring more eyes or no?
I'm having some like I don't know what goes on with this because I follow Pavel Barber and I follow this other can't think of his name, but he's basically the same as Pavel Barber. They just do crazy shit on goalies and just make them look stupid all day. But like they're at every one of those events and they're
Right.
on the ice skating around. So I don't know if it's something that we're missing as viewers. Like I don't know if the people that are there for the weekend is that something that they get to go spectate and it's just not on TV for
Or
us.
just not main stage?
Well, yeah, they must have like some kind of booth set up where he's dangling some like randoms off the street type thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Those guys are nuts.
Yeah.
I would probably tune
Um,
into that. I think that'd be more interesting than what they got going now. And
for
get some
sure.
goalies who actually try to stop the puck instead of just like laying there flopping around like dummies. I mean, I get it from the goalie's perspective, but at least if the goalies don't want to do that, then bring in some goalies who would be like pumped to be at the All-Star game.
Trying. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Like make some kind of prize for them. Like if they were maybe not even AHL, but like East Coast goalies. So
Mhm.
like they're playing for something a little bit more, right?
Mhm.
But during the NBA All-Star festivities, Karl Malone was kind of highlighted. It was in I can't, Portland. No, I forget where the hell it was, but wherever Karl Malone was stationed is where they had it. So they brought him on board. But then that brought out the story of Karl Malone and how he's basically a piece of shit.
How he
Did you
what?
guys know that how he's basically a piece of shit? And then a story started recirculating that when he was 20, he knocked up a 12-year-old.
No,
What?
and like was just allowed to have the rest of his life and career.
I did not know
Basically,
that at all.
said he wanted nothing to do with the kid. He thought like the girl was like trying to trap him. Like she knew he was like on the come up. Um, but at the same time, she's 12, buddy.
Is Carl
Yeah,
Malone Bugsy Malone?
no, brother,
I don't know if I know who Carl Malone is.
the
Utah.
mailman, Utah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where it was. Sorry, I was blacking out. Um, but yeah, like it's been. I always knew that he had kind of like a checkered past, just like where he was brought up and how. Like when Magic was out with or came back into the league with AIDS at the time, like Karl Malone refused to step foot on the floor while he was out there. So like there was always been controversies around him, but that one I had never actually heard. It's crazy that one's
So sick.
so like under wraps. Like it's
So
just nuts.
is that news or just like they
No,
hushed her up?
they hashed it up for 30, 35 years.
That's so messed.
Cam says par for the course in Utah.
Very true.
Well,
Wasn't
drums,
that
you're
in
gonna.
the chat last time?
Pardon me.
Weren't we talking about that happening in Utah last time? Not the same thing, but lots of crazy shit happens there.
Yeah.
Last epi.
Yeah,
Cam was
'cause we were
saying his
talking about
brother-in-law
Tiger
lives there.
Sports.
So.
Right.
Tiger scores, yeah.
Well, drums, you're gonna have to start adding a little bit more description here because if I knew we were gonna start the show with knocking up a 12-year-old, I might have bumped you back in the lineup.
Yeah, when I saw that was up first, I was like, ooh, probably should have.
Anyways,
Reggie, what's
like
next?
we always say, you guys keep tuning in. We'll keep putting these out, and thanks for coming out. This one could just be called episode 116, the Karl Malone episode, and then that's it.
Got 5 minutes of Carl and we're out.
Reggie, talk about the Cootie twins.
So the Cootie twins, sick story actually. I didn't realize it till today even. But I did notice that Monday Q tweeted that the guy made it through. So one of the brothers, they're twin brothers. They went
Whoa. Is this the worm tracker?
No.
Okay.
No, Monday Q.
Do you have a weekly worm?
I don't. He said that nobody really placed that well last week, so there's nothing really to spotlight. He said there's lots coming up this week, though, so we'll have something for next week.
Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
No, that's okay. So Parker Cootie, and it's like it's Pierce and then Son. I don't know if that's how they spell Pearson. I don't know. We'll have to listen to how they say it on Golf Channel. It's like the word Pierce and then the word Son. Usually it's just like, I don't know. It's a weird way to say it anyways. They're twin brothers. They went to University of Texas, like the Longhorns, and played collegiate golf there. Pearson is he's a two-time winner on the Corn Ferry in the last couple of years, and he's qualified for the Honda Classic through that by winning twice there. And his brother Parker actually Monday queued on Monday, obviously, to get into this tournament. So they told the story on PGA.com today, basically about how they've always just kind of built off each other, and whatever you can do, I can do better, like twins, but they actually do like absolutely everything together. So then they told a story in the article that said when they were going to university in Texas, they wanted to have a relay, and they wanted to be like a 4-on-4 relay at the end of it, and they both wanted to be the captains, and they'd both be the last guys to go, and it was just a back and forth 40-yard sprint. So you'd run and touch the wall, and then run back and touch the other wall, and then that'd be the end of the relay. But they wanted to beat each other so bad that they ran to the one wall, touched it, and ran back, and they both ran full speed into the concrete wall, and both chipped the exact same, like they both broke the exact same bone in their elbow at the exact same time because they wanted to beat each other so bad.
No.
And I guess they still argue who won the race because nobody really knows because they just went crashing into the wall. So it's like kind of fitting that there was a 5-for-3 playoff to get in, and he hit the flag stick on the first hole and had a kick in birdie, so he got in that way. And then they're playing one group away from each other, like one guy's in front of the other guy on the weekend. and apparently they're one was that Pearson was the top ranked amateur at one time. So I guess I gotta start paying more attention to the up and comers, and we would know about the Cootie twins. But I thought that was a hilarious story, and I guess they got just dialed in. Like I guess again in the article, the coach says that he called his wife, and his wife said that it was God doing that because they had to work on their chipping and putting, so that's all they'd be able to work on with their sore elbow. So I guess then they just got dialed in and they ended up winning like the national title with the Longhorns. So I don't know. It was a pretty cool article. You guys should check it out on PGAtour.com.
That is pretty sweet. Why do we need to? You just told us the story.
No, there's more to it too. I don't need to tell the whole article word for word. There's lots of cool facts there.
Twins are weird, eh?
Yeah.
Like the whole concept of being in the womb with somebody else at the same time. Lots of weirdness there. Imagine being triplets yet.
Mm-hmm.
Reg, you want to keep
That's
going?
my worst nightmare.
What the hell does TGL mean?
That's Tiger and Rory's thing there.
Okay.
The indoor. So they actually broke ground the other day.
Wait, what does it like? What's the abbreviation?
What does it stand for? I'm not 100% sure.
Tigers Golf League.
That's what I thought. Oh, shit,
Hey, you tell the story, Reggie. I'll look it up.
No, it's just that they broke ground, and I guess like they're planning on running it next summer, and it's going to be on Mondays. And I'm having like
breaker like on the building or what?
What's it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be like a 40,000 square foot building. Like it's massive, and it's on a campus. I don't know. Like you guys will have to check out the story. I don't have a whole lot of info on it. I just saw that Tiger and Rory went there on Monday to break ground. And they're officially on.
So yeah, like they'll build it'll be like their own like Top Golf type thing, where it'll be like a huge compound. There'll be different sections because I think it's going to be like they'll be doing different challenges and stuff. But it's going to be stationary, right? Like for like events, like it's all going to be hosted at the same spot. So they'll have like the TV cameras, all that shit just set up too, and like they just come. It'll basically be like a TV set, but for golf.
And they said that the one really cool perk about fans going to watch is that if you go watch in person, it doesn't matter how good of tickets you have, you still have to move from hole to hole to see the players play. But this way, you'll be able to sit in the crowd and watch the entire thing instead of having to move around. I really don't know what to expect with it, man. I honestly have no clue.
It's TGL stands for a new tech infused team golf league.
Oh, team golf league.
No. Oh, is that what it means? But it says a new tech. Okay, yeah. So team golf league. I got you. I thought they jumbled 6 words into a small abbreviation there.
No, so okay, team golf league. So I don't know. It's going to be on Monday nights for 2 hours. So
who's in it? Who's watching that? Like, is it to compete? I initially thought it was to compete with Liv, but it's not.
No. Well,
like, is Tiger playing in that every Monday night? No.
In the grand scheme of things, it's part of their answer to compete with them.
They probably just did it so Tiger doesn't have to walk anywhere. It's just all stationary.
Very true. And he can do this.
In there. He could do this till he dies.
This for the next 10 years, yeah.
Early predictions on it? I think it'll be lame.
Yeah, I guess from what we know this far, I'd agree with you.
But what could make it cool, though? That's what I want to know.
Well, I don't even really know what the hell it is.
It's a tech-infused team golf league.
Well, what the fuck does that mean? Do you know?
Tiger wouldn't put his name to it. Rory wouldn't put his name to it. All the richest people in the world, all the investors wouldn't put their name to it if they didn't think it was going to be sick. Like obviously they have a little more plan than what they're telling us. A little more than what they're telling us. Like what it's going to be. I think it'll be pretty sick. Like like it'll be a sick viewing probably on TV because I don't know how it's all going to work. It might be all VR in person too.
True. There's nothing better than some like prime time golf in the evening.
Guys getting into simulators though, I don't know if that's like the coolest thing ever.
No,
I don't know. It just seemed like pretty suspect timing on everything. Almost just like it was rushed. They were just trying to scramble to figure out a way to combat the Live Tour, and this is what they came out with. And I mean, that was about a year ago now, so I'm guessing they just kind of came up with the team golf league,
Roll the dice.
signed Tiger and Rory, and took the next year to figure out what the hell they're going to do. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see,
would
I
never
guess.
shit on
I
Tiger,
think
but
there's I
that's
think there's more I think there's more technology out there than we realize, and I think it's going to be more than just guys hitting into a virtual golf simulator. Like I think it's going
probably
to be pretty sick. That's my early
for
prediction.
sure.
I'm backing it. I'm backing it.
Well, you're wrong in the Live Tour, so we'll see what happens with the TGL.
Am I though? It's a fucking joke. Everything that's happening with the Live Tour right now, like it's a joke.
You're
It's
gonna have
like
to
somebody's
start putting
making a comedy of it.
you're gonna have to start putting a disclaimer that these views do not represent King Golf on your Twitter. You got going on bashing Live all the time. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but we got some F1 going on this Reggie. We got some F1 going on this weekend. Where's the first stop? Aussie land?
No. I guess just to piggyback off the Netflix golf doc is F1 is back on
Oh,
Friday with
so
season 4, season 5, season
it's the
4.
series. I was gonna say I thought
Yeah.
But
F1
F1 is
was
back
going
this
on.
weekend too.
Pardon me?
Like the testing is back this weekend, I believe.
Okay.
Testing is, yeah. So like the first look at the cars. I don't know if you start following them like on social media and stuff. Like they've already released like the pictures of
Some
all the
sick
new
cars,
whips
man.
and stuff. They look pretty good.
Oh,
I don't know shit other about cars other than they look decent. I don't know
yeah.
even if they look that much different than previous years, but I guess we'll see.
You're a car guy. You had a Mustang.
Oh yeah, I don't even know if we should call it a Mustang.
Rustang.
Mustang. That thing lasted for a long time.
Yeah, I did. Put
Like
on some miles.
my cousins drove it forever after.
I don't even know
I
if we
had
can
it.
call it a Mustang.
Yeah.
Much longer than any vehicles that I claim to be mine. But breaking news, we got Ches in the chat here saying Paige Spearnack will host the TGL. So that will make it interesting. I'm in agreement with that. I'm
Hope he's on a trampoline. Ooh,
The Headley Fine Wines Estate Cabs Shiraz. Pretty damn good. Nice work, Tron.
Reggie, you just missed some gold from drums there. He said, hope she's on a trampoline. So Trev said the first race is in
Bahrain.
Bahrain
Yeah.
next weekend. So the PG or the Netflix series is coming out this weekend.
Yeah, on Friday, I believe.
Okay. I'm pumped for that. Yeah, Ches is in agreement with that. And the last bit of housekeeping before we get into the golf stuff. Wanted to give a shout out to the Munn Group who dared to put their logo next to the King crown on some quarter zips. And so we just wanted to give a shout out to them, say how much we appreciate it. They got a couple of them. And we also wanted to extend an offer to listeners of the podcast. We do this once in a while for the people who listen to the show either live or recorded after. So if you have a business or a company and you'd like some gear with the King logo and your own logo on it, we're going to be doing free embroidery for listeners of the podcast. So you just have to buy the quarter zips. You can get as many as you want. We'll embroider your logo on them for free. No brainer. And the best part is that Reggie's going to sign all of them. No, that's not the best part, actually. The best part is that you can write it off as a business expense. So
There you go.
So I could sign them if you
could.
want, but I
The
don't
inside.
think anybody. Yeah.
The tag.
Just right across the back.
Hey, speaking of that, have you talked to Cockrell about the status of the Shane's head covers?
Yeah, I did.
Where they at?
And I don't know where they're at right now. Thanks for putting me on the spot on here. I really don't know. I'd have to check my text, but
Ches says sick deal for the quarter zips there. So I think it'll be pretty good. I don't know. There's no discount code or anything if you want to take advantage of that. If you're whether you own the company or you're an employee, I think it'll be a good thing to maybe pass along to the boss or whatever it is. But no discount code. All you got to do is reach out to us. I know at this point, you know where to find us. So that's that. Let's get to some golf stuff. Before we get heated up with the Live Tour, let's get heated up with Mike Pernowski, also known as Bernard Langer.
Bernie won his 45th Champions Tour event on the weekend. Tied Hale Irwin's record.
With some controversy.
45th. With his putter?
Oh, I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, sort of.
I just wanted to give him a shout out for getting 45 wins on the Champions Tour. It's incredible.
It seems like he could probably putt with his big toe and still went out there. So what's your thoughts on the putter? Reggie?
I'm impartial to it.
How come?
I don't know. What are you supposed
Just
to do?
because of it being the Champions Tour? Like, if it was on tour, would you have more of a concern?
Would they let it happen?
Well, I mean,
Like as far as I'm concerned, if the tour's not shutting it down, then he's not doing anything wrong. They see him putt every single hole. They see everything. It's not like he's like cheat. Like obviously they could see what he's doing. If that's against the rules, then they would stop it. But it's within the rules, obviously, because they're not banning him from putting like that. So obviously he's going to keep doing it. He's not going to say, "Oh, hey, you know what, you guys? I think that what I'm doing here might be incorrect against the rules. I'm winning like crazy, but I'm just going to change out my putter, and then I'm just done putting like this because I think I might be doing it wrong." Like if they had balls, they wouldn't post online. They would just tell him he can't use it anymore.
I don't know, but the same breath, we're pretty quick to shit on Patrick Reed every time he breathes, but he's never like gotten an infraction or a penalty for some of the shit that has gone on.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair comment. I don't know. I just
That's a perfect example of oh, is my internet out here? No. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a perfect example of I know exactly what you mean, Drums, because if it was anybody else on other than a 45-time winner on the Champions Tour, it's like Sidney Crosby getting a call or McDavid getting a call versus Brennan Lemieux, and what it would do to the league and what it would do to all that kind of stuff. It's just politics, I think.
Well, it's just accepted too. Like they're going to get away with some shit, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
and basketball is a crazy example too, because like, do you remember growing up and what traveling was?
Yeah.
Like,
And then you watch the
a basketball
NBA.
game. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
But I think that I don't know. I don't think that should be allowed. I think that putting is one of the hardest parts of the game of golf. And if you can anchor something to your body so that nothing moves other than, you take your wrist right out of it, I don't think that that's legal. And I don't write the rules of golf by any means.
So what about the guys that have it on the inside of their arm?
Yeah, that's what I always never understood. Like, what really is the difference?
Because there's lots of guys that putt like that.
Like on the side?
Because you're still anchoring it to that arm.
Yeah, it's against your arm.
I think they should just ban anchoring, period. Or I think they need to ban anchoring, period, or let it go. Do whatever you want.
Well, I thought it is, isn't it?
What?
It's banned.
Yeah.
No. Like the long putters, period. Like even on the side or anything that's anchored to your body should be banned.
Yeah, I think it's a gray area, and he's taking advantage of it. I don't know if that's cheating or not.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I don't know. I don't think you can fault him for it. I think if you're going to fault anybody, you could fault the tour for letting him do it.
Well, I don't know. Like there's some stupid rules in golf. I think that's a legitimate rule that nobody should be able to anchor their putter to their body, regardless of how they're doing it. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
and like
people have lost major championships because some fucking schmo on his couch called in and said that ball moved.
Correct.
Like,
That's what I mean.
they're definitely getting calls. I don't even care if it is the Champions Tour. Like they're notified of this wagering.
Whoa. Okay, let's move on. That's enough. It's enough Champion Tours talk.
Shout out to Bernie for getting the for tying for the wins record.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Bernie too, so I have a hard time
Yeah.
shitting on it. I just don't like the whole putter, the long putter thing, but I don't write the rules.
Remember when he was absolutely just killing it in majors too? The old fella. Always.
Remember when I bet on him? I think that was during the podcast
Yeah.
when I bet on him.
And that was like right before he went, like he was on like a
Off.
heater for the old boys, and then he's gone cold since. Way to go.
Sorry, Bern.
So Tiger returned. I honestly think that we could probably spend the entire episode talking about Tiger's performance, but before we dive into it, what would you guys rank it out of 10 in terms of his first time playing on the PGA Tour since what, 2020?
Yeah.
What are we out of 10?
Out of 10. And people in the chat, if you want to join in, rank Tiger's performance out of 10.
7.
How come?
Like so I didn't get to watch as much as you guys did. Like I watched a bit of Friday's round, and then for the most part watched Saturday with you guys. But like he hit great shots. I missed Thursday where he played probably the best round, right?
Saturday was, I think, wasn't it?
Saturday.
Yeah.
But putting, and like we've never seen Tiger have those kind of issues with putting. But that's going to speak to not playing in a year, right? Or sparsely. You can do so much practicing for putting, I guess, but in pressure moments again. And if you're just not in those, you haven't been in them for a period of time. Those are going to get even Tiger Woods. But at the same time, that might just speak of the focus he put on his swing, his leg, his back, everything. To get back to this point. So maybe that putting is going to come because, I mean, it's not like I can't believe that Tiger Woods is going to lose his putting touch.
Is he going to what?
He would lose his putting touch.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's what it was either.
Those greens are tough, too.
Yeah, it sounded
Very
to me like Tiger's never won there before Riviera. And it seems like his stroke didn't really seem off. He just seemed really or not that it was pressure, but he just seemed really uncomfortable on those greens. And I'm guessing that's 25 years of experience there and some struggles along the way and bad thoughts. And putting's all confidence, I think. So, Reggie, what would you rate him?
I'm going to say 9.5.
Ooh.
I watched lots of Thursday and lots of Friday. Lots. Friday, the front nine, I guess his back, like it was the back nine, but his front nine honestly could have been 5 or 6 under on the 9 if he could putt. It was the most disgusting ball striking 9 holes I've seen him play in probably, I don't know how long, man. He started off, he striped one down 10, chucked a dart to 5 feet, missed the putt. It might even be inside 5 feet. 11, misses another. He hit a driver, a 3-wood. It wasn't really reachable that day. He got a 3-wood right up by the green, chased one up to 5 feet, 4 feet, missed it. It was kind of like, oh shit. And then he 3-putted one hole, and then like even the one par 5, man. It was before that he chucked a dart on 16. Yeah, 16, and it was like to 2 inches. I mean, you guys saw that shot all over the internet. And then the next
just
hole,
happy you made that one.
He hit the fairway bunker. Jory, you were watching along as well. And 17, he hit the fairway bunker, so he had to lay up to 180 yards, and then he put a 7-iron to like a foot and a half, and made birdie there as well. It was just a clinic, ball striking clinic. It was crazy to see actually. He was hitting like definitely the closest shots out of anyone in the field. It was just, and then it kind of just the wheels kind of came off the last 3 holes there, and he was in danger of missing the cut. But overall, I mean, who expects him to make the cut? I mean, I got him at plus 210 to make the cut. I mean, it's Tiger Woods, and he was paying plus 210 to make the cut. Like,
I feel like even when Tiger's like it would have been a couple years ago, but he was just kind of getting back into the tournaments. Like he had some time off, and then he'd come back to play the Masters. And I remember they were still giving him odds of like in the top 10, even though he hadn't played in like a year, like to win the tournament.
mm-hmm.
So to have those kind of odds to make the cut, even it just shows you, how long it's been since he's been real competitive in golf. But
and how crazy it is that he did what he did. Like, I mean, the guy. I mean, let's be serious here. He hasn't played like Jordan, like you said. It's almost been 3 years since he teed it up in just a regular PGA event. 3 years.
It's a long time.
I mean, these guys are practicing for 7
and
hours
almost
a
died
day,
in
and
the
they're
meantime.
playing every weekend. And he almost died, and he hasn't played, and he's.
Okay, was Riv not the course he was coming home from when he crashed?
No, he's doing a shoot.
Yeah, I thought it was in Florida.
For like Golf TV.
No, I think but I think
it was in California. It might have been Riv.
Was
It
it?
might have been filmed at Riv. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
What was your rank in Jor?
Yeah, I mean, mine would be pretty close to Reggie's. I was blown away by what he was able to do out there. I would say probably a 9. I would have liked to see him just make a few more putts. I think if he would have made a couple more putts, it would have bumped up to a 9.5 to a 10. But when I was watching it on Sunday, and as Tiger was kind of finishing up, and the leaders were coming home, you had John Rahm, you had Max Homa, you had all these big guys who are at the peak of their game, who play every day. They're competing every week. And after 4 rounds, Tiger, even though it seems like Tiger's only like -2 and they're like -14, it seems like a huge stretch. But that's over 4 rounds. So realistically, like those guys only got him by 2 or 3 strokes per round. 3 or 4 strokes, I guess. And that just goes to show how not too far behind he is in compared to the best in the world. And he beat a lot of guys who play every week. And I don't know. I would have liked to see him make a few more putts for sure. But it was very hopeful to see him reading putts, getting down to reading putts again, and 180 ball speed, hitting it past JT and Rory driving it past those guys.
Say that. What was happening? Was that real? Like on Thursday, he must have been amped up on adrenaline for getting to play again or something, because he wasn't hitting that far later on in the week. Like those first 2 days, man, he was absolutely pounding that little piss cutter. Like it was so sick to watch, man. Holy 7.5 degree driver, just little piss cutters down the fairway, just sick.
How about this stat? If Tiger Woods only played 1999 and 2000 and nothing else, he would have 17 wins and 4 majors.
More than Spieth, isn't it?
That's a better career than Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, and Justin Thomas.
So crazy.
That's nuts.
That is nuts, actually. But that's just, he's unhuman.
How utterly disappointed in Tiger and ashamed of Tiger and hurt by Tiger's actions were you with the tampon exchange to JT after out driving him?
I thought it was maybe one of the most disturbing things that I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, he should be kicked off the tour, Doug.
Doing something that, like at least a suspension of some sort. Give him a suspension until he's ready to come back.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
They should ask him if he plans on coming back and then suspending him until that's done. People are wild. People are honestly, so shitty.
If the PGA suspended Tiger Woods over that, I would be 0% surprised. Absolutely nothing at this point in the world would surprise me, and that would be up there with the most shocking things. But I mean, to see Tiger do that, it surprised me a little bit because he knew damn well that the guy always has 50 cameras around him at all times. He knew that he was going to get caught doing that, still did it. And he managed to escape day one of doing that. Nobody asked him about the presser. And then the second day, he was obviously well prepared for the answer. I honestly can't believe nobody asked him about it in the first, after the first
day.
round.
Yeah.
So good.
Just,
So
it's
good.
embarrassing. That's I get why he did make comments on it afterwards. At the
He
same
has
time,
to.
I wish
Yeah.
I know. I just wish he would have told him to fuck off.
Nah, but he wouldn't do that. He would have had his press team prepare a statement for him probably before
sure.
he even did it.
For sure.
Because there's no
like
way
he did. There's no way he didn't know this was coming.
No.
I went to Walmart and bought a box on Sunday. Chez just said how many are gonna be carrying Tampax. I bought a box.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
my new stealth from Chez.
I guarantee you now, all the boys who go to Walmart or a Canadian Tire before a stag to buy golf balls, like a 30-pack of golf balls for the trip, they're picking up a pack of Tampax, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Like, he should get Tampax as a sponsor now. That'd be hilarious.
That would be amazing, actually.
Well, they tweeted like jokingly about it too. Like everybody just fucking grow up, lighten up.
Yeah, I'm so sick.
We're in World War III. We got fucking bigger fish to fry than a fucking tampon. Jesus.
Hey, on the Genesis topic, did you guys see Kyle Porter's tweet about Rahm? In the first 60 days of 2023, his top 7 in all 5 starts, 3 wins. He's 93 under in 20 rounds.
His worst score,
67.1 scoring average. He's beat or tied 601 players, 98.8 of them, 98.8% of players that he's played against he's beat in 2023. He's lost to 8 players only, and he's won $9 million. Like, he is
his
on
worst score was
all-time
74.
run right now. He's doing all-time shit right now. Like, they're gonna be talking about this run 20 years from now.
You think?
It's insane what he's doing right now, and it's getting overlooked still somehow. Like, I don't know.
Why is that though?
He's
I
finally
think because
the
it's
world
like
number
a
one.
carryover of 2 seasons. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know why it is overlooked. Like, I think Scotty
crazy.
Scheffler got more hype for
He
the
did,
run
yes,
he went on
absolutely.
last year. And like rightfully so. Like that was a phenomenal
Yeah. And
run.
that was
like his first win off
right?
on tour, and then just kicked everything off. But yeah, this is absolutely nuts from Rombo. And like there's nothing about him that seems like it's slowing down.
No, I don't think he's going to slow down. If anything, I think he's only
No.
going to get better.
Did you see him and was he giving Tiger tips?
Rombo?
Yeah. Quickly back to Chaz's comment about the TaylorMade boys. Did you guys see DJ? Well, I guess it sounds like all the Live boys are kind of having their own branding now because DJ parted ways with Adidas.
Finally.
And I actually was just watching the Netflix special the other day, and I was thinking like, man, the Adidas stuff is actually kind of nice. Like it looks good on DJ. And then that was the first time I ever thought that Adidas stuff looked good. And then a day later, they announced they're parting ways with him.
I think it might look good, but it's not good. Adidas stuff sucks shit. I've never had a piece of Adidas clothing that I liked.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a soccer brand, right?
It's all silk shit.
All day I dream about sports.
Soccer.
Or sex. Soccer?
Soccer, yeah. Sex. Just drops one in there.
Okay, we got some stuff going on in the chat. I can't keep up, but let's keep things going here.
Trev said, why would Adidas keep him though? Nobody watches Live. Love that comment. Thanks, Trev. Here we go.
Didn't they sell out
we better
this
not
week?
pay attention to the chat too a whole lot here. We got to get into the fighting about Live.
Well, yeah, we got the Live Tour firing up this weekend, an event in Mexico. It's Reggie, you replied to a tweet today from the King Golf account to Alan Shipnick about the guys wearing matching shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like any team sport has matching uniforms, and every bachelor party we go on, we also have matching uniforms. When did it become uncool?
Just matching everything, absolutely everything.
Well,
Bags,
yeah,
head
they usually
clothes,
do that in team sports, no?
I don't know. I'm tired of this fucking live.
You
Honestly,
got you got
I wish it
different
would just.
socks than the guy that plays on your hockey team?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, let's talk about this. So we're gonna pick a prediction. As much as Reggie doesn't want to do it, we're gonna be picking winners for the Live Tour champions. They got their first event this week. There's a lot of people on Twitter who dislike Live. There's a few people who like Live. Drums and I are kind of on the fence, I would say. Reggie is at the opposite end of the spectrum as far as you could go, hating the Live Tour, but he's still going to make a prediction for them tonight. Who do you pick, Reggie?
I really don't know.
Drums, who are you picking?
So is this for like team win or individual win?
No, this is for who takes home the championship at the end of the year.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so my pick was the Rippers.
The Rippers.
The
Who's on that
Rippers.
squad?
They've got the best name, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we got Cam Smith, who is probably still top 3 in the world. Mark Leishman, Matt Jones, Jed Morgan. I know 2 of those names, don't know the other 2, but I'm hitching my wagon to Cam Smith.
Probably not a bad pick. Reggie, I agree. Rippers is the best name for sure. Reggie, you want to take a pick or are you passing?
I honestly, this is truthful. I really don't know any of the teams. I know you sent the link to say pick a team, but I don't like any of those guys. I guess like
Okay, Reg
like
gets the cleats.
I'm like a who's on the cliques?
Martin Keimer
No.
is the captain. Burned Weisberger.
Weisberger?
So we got a bunch of Germans. Graham McDowell and Dickie Bland.
Sounds like 2 Irish guys too. 2 Irish guys and 2 Germans. Yeah,
I'll
Reggie
take
gets
that.
the field.
I'll
I'm
take
with
the Range
Kes here. I'm
Goats.
going. What's that?
Oh, never mind.
I'm taking the Range Goats here. I actually really like the name. I love Bubba. Always have. Always will. And they got your guy Taylor Gooch, Reggie. The spot between the
Gooch.
The nuts in the ass.
And I actually love Harold Varner too. I wish he never would have left the tour, to be honest with you.
Me too. Yeah.
And
that's actually probably the most stacked team in my opinion.
I think so too. And the new guy on the block, Thomas Peters. Number 34 in the world.
I wonder why he didn't get an invite now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably heard the rumblings.
Must have been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
I just don't know how, and this weekend speaks even more volume to how you can want guys to, how you guys are supporting the tour and wanting guys to go to it.
I've never ever said that.
No, but just like you guys actually give a shit about it. Like the product on the PGA on the weekend is the best. It's the last 2 weekends actually is the best it's probably ever been.
Right.
Ever.
Right. What surrounding that makes it different than any other Genesis, other than Tiger playing?
Just those players.
Right. Elevated events. Those didn't exist.
I don't know if it's elevated events. All those guys played that anyways. That might have been the case for the Waste Management, why there's more players there. But I mean, I don't know. It's just not even comparable to me. Like this, the Live almost seems laughable with all these shitty names, all the shitty advertising they're doing. Like
it is.
It's
like that's part of the joke to me too. Is like being on the contrary to everybody's pissing and moaning nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Like it exists. I don't know. Like at some point, people are gonna have to get over it. Support it or don't. I don't know.
Or just ignore it. But I seem to have to talk about it every Wednesday on this fucking podcast. Usually when I don't like something, I ignore it, and I can't seem to do that with this because I have to talk about it every week. But you guys know my opinion on it. So I don't have a pick. I could give two shits. I hope they all lose somehow.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
it for it.
understand like the pure utter hatred for these
It's just
people. I just
ruining.
don't get that.
I
And
don't
it's
know.
not what's it
It is.
ruined? What
It
has
is.
it ruined? What
It's just I don't know. I'm just so tired of it.
what did it ruin? One thing.
PGA, like it's not ruined the PGA, but if they keep going
You
over
just
there
told
and
me it's
playing
the
these
best
guys,
event they've ever had.
if these guys, it is. But if these guys, if they keep giving guys $100 million to go play on their tour, then guys are going to keep going. It's reality. I mean, you can only
Yep.
stay loyal for so long getting offered $100 million.
True.
So it's going to destroy what we had on the weekend, is what I'm saying, eventually.
But if everybody's at the same spot, like what's going to be different?
What do you mean?
Like if the PGA Tour continues like a downward spiral, and then all of a sudden,
if Tiger Woods joins the Majestics and gets to play in a team, I don't know, it's just the biggest.
like you do know this motherfucker's going to die one day.
I'm saying,
and golf's going to have to continue on.
What if Rahm left? What if Spieth? What if all those guys, Scheffler, Morikawa? What if they all just left to the live and play on these bullshit teams? There's no
maybe they would just get along
serious
then
golf
figure
tournaments
the
ever
shit
again.
out.
Right.
There's no serious golf tournaments ever again.
You don't think like they would make adjustments?
I don't think so. But whatever.
Yeah, no, I again, I always argue to argue, and it's fun to an extent, but yeah.
This is going to tie into it again because we're going to talk about the Netflix special, and the second and the third episodes were about Brooks Koepka and Ian Poulter were the two stars of that show, two guys who have joined the Live Tour recently. And I don't know, where do you guys want to start with this? Because it seemed like the Brooks one was, we talked about it last week, that they pushed it to number 2 in the series because it was a little too depressing. I didn't find it that depressing. Did you guys?
No. I mean, motherfucker's going through everything right now. Like you can just see, like throughout the episode, he was up, down, fucking spinning like a top. Like he didn't know up from down. And so like I can appreciate that about Brooks. Like I was never like a Brooks fan. Something about him always rubbed me the wrong way. I don't think this changed my opinion of him. I don't think it worsened my opinion of him either. I think there was like 2 or 3 times where you actually like saw who Brooks is and not who Brooks wants you to see. Like there's the part where he's talking with his mom where he's like, I really don't know if I can fucking compete with these guys. Like I can't even listen to my wife speak, and all I'm thinking about is my golf shot. And then like I'm thinking about what Scotty Scheffler's thinking about, and just knowing that that kid's just thinking about absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the range of emotions and all the mental shit that's going on with him. I do feel bad. I guess not bad, but not sorry that he's going through like this mental breakdown for himself.
And he was, Brooks was the guy. Like he was the guy for a while on the tour where it seemed like nobody could beat him in majors. And I lost a lot of respect for him for the way he talked down about golf as a sport and how it's too easy for him. And I think he even made mention that in the show too, that golf isn't a real sport or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was when he was at Phoenix. He was like, "This is like a real sport."
Yes,
you get all the crowd and everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, and probably getting into. Well, we'll have to tie this into the Live Tour again, obviously, because Brooks and Poltz both decided to go there. And from my perspective here, guys like Koepka probably fit perfectly into the Live mold. Not that that's what they're going to be in the future, but that's kind of what they created was a tour that I think would go perfectly for a guy like Brooks Koepka. And he had been struggling on the PGA. And and then we get into Poulter, who is at the end of his career, he's fighting to make cuts. He has his 18 or 17-year-old kid who's pursuing golf, and he wants to be around more. Like, I don't know how you could fault guys for wanting to go to a tour, like DJ said, where you know, if somebody said you get to go to your job and work less hours, get paid more, anybody who doesn't take that offer, I think you worded it wrong to say something's wrong with them. Because I feel like guys like DJ, on the other hand, should have stayed on the PGA Tour because of the legacy that he could have created for himself. Whereas Poltz, I think he went as far as he could on the PGA, and he took it as far as he could go. And why not go try something new? Things aren't working there. And that's just like my, you know, a guy like Cam Smith, I'm not sure should be playing around in the Live Tour. I think he should be in the PGA, just because it still is a premier tour, and he has the ability to, you know, make a real difference on the PGA Tour. But that's why I have a hard time putting the Live versus the PGA. I think it's all dependent on player by player.
Right. I guess that was always my more my thing. I guess not against Live, but it was more like, why do these people going and doing that drive you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Never mind like the league existing. Like if it was 100 Chase Koepkas there, again, you wouldn't care anymore about the league. But just because these bigger names,
it's not the guys going that pisses me off at all. I could give two shits. Of course, Poulter's.
no,
gonna go.
I'm not
He's
saying
never
you
gonna
specifically.
win another $1 on the PGA. I'm pissed off.
But what? He just made $100 million. He'll never make $100 million on the PGA.
I would go 1,000 times over if I was him. I would if I was any player. I've never said I wouldn't go.
But
I'm saying
you've
I'm
never
pissed
said
off
that
at
before on here, Reggie.
That's how I feel about it. I'm pissed off at the whole where the money's coming from and how much they're throwing at players. Of course lots of the guys are gonna say yes. It's hundreds of millions of dollars that you're just paying these guys just to basically lose their reputation for the rest of their life, but they get this money. Because they are, if they're going to this tour. And unfortunately, it's the way it is. They are. That's just the way it is. Not just me, but to the whole golf world. They're toast. They're written off.
But they're not.
Except for, I'm saying in terms of like the pure golf and everything that's going to go along, they're written off. I would say they are. This is never going to become a league that's respected by people in the world. It's the outsider league that's paying guys hundreds of $millions to fuck around.
You can't say that. But you have no idea what's going to come in 2 or 3 years from now. You have no idea.
And also, like, if there was a PGA Hall of Fame, DJ's not in it?
He's probably not anymore, honestly.
He should be.
I don't think so.
Phil's not in it?
I don't think he should be either.
1,000,000% should be.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just the part of it that drives me fucking crazy. Like these, to skip to the Poltz one, like,
yeah,
everything about the anything that had to do with Live was so just negative. And like they showcased like the difference between the PGA guys and the guys who went to Live as these greedy, money hungry people. Like Brooks is lounging in this sick ass pool with the supermodel wife, where Scotty's back home reading his Bible and going for coffee with his wife. Like, I don't know, man. Like there's just parts of it that just irks me and drives me nuts. But there could be such an actual, like, really good story there if they would just let it fucking happen and not dictate the narrative.
I honestly thought, and me and East were talking about, I mean, I've hated Poulter my whole life. I've hated everything he's ever done. And I actually watched that Netflix documentary and I actually kind of liked him.
Poltz?
Yeah.
I did. I did.
I used to be a big Poltz fan. Like, I guess kind of like when he was relevant. And then, some of his antics kind of bugged me too. And I kind of got back to leaning more towards liking him.
Parts of me did like him in some of that, but
I think the admission that he plays a character made me like him a lot better. Like he knows he plays and comes off this persona of like a kind of a cocky asshole, but he feeds that.
Mm-hmm.
How does blow up in the locker room?
So fake.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I
think
mean, he
so.
was mad. He was mad,
I don't think so
but
either.
he
I think as soon as the camera came in, he stopped what he was doing and got super
no, he
awkward.
looked at the camera. I think if you rewind the tape, it's sketchy.
I've watched it 1,000 times. I was loving it. This takes me back to our childhood, Reggie. Dad breaking up fights here for us. Dad had to slam on the brakes a lot of times in the old Dodge Caravan and pull over and give us a spank on the ass. Okay, so what else
Brooks,
are we
But
got?
I have sorry, I got to go back to Trevor's comment too. Like our politicians aren't held up to the same standard that these fucking golfers are. Like it's just like why golfers? That's what my big question was. Like I don't understand that part of it. Sorry.
but I also think it's only in our world because we follow golf. If you're somebody who didn't follow golf or give a shit about it, you probably never seen anything about Live or PGA or
But you
anything.
watch this show and you know they're scumbags from this show.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
That's
I
that's
thought
what
Kemp.
that really bothered me about episode 3 about Poulter, is that that's when they started talking about the Live Tour, and it was so blatantly biased against the Live Tour. It was disgusting, and to have a guy like Brandel Chambly on there, I almost puked hearing him talk about like how Poltz is not going to be able to be the Ryder Cup captain anymore. His reputation is going to be tarnished as a player. The sponsors are going to never look at him again. Do you think Poltz gives a shit if he's going to be a captain of a Ryder Cup? No.
He
Yeah,
talked
he
about it
does.
like 7
He
times
does.
on there.
But does he though? I
He
mean, he's
would.
just kind of like saying,
Of
yeah,
course he
it's kind of
does.
shitty.
Like
That's
yeah,
like
but that
being
doesn't
the captain of
outweigh
Team
what you want
Canada.
to do for your family, like he said.
Right. And he's made his mark in the Ryder Cup as a player. You can never outdo what you're going to do as a player, as a coach, ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it would be awesome for his resume, and I mean he would have been a shoe in at some point for it.
But
But
who needs a resume when you're getting 30 mil a year?
right.
Yeah, I'm actually complete with Cam here. I think that both leagues can exist in peace, and they should. And I hope that they do someday, honestly, because there's really good golfers on both side of things, and if they can find a way instead of just like being so against the Live Tour, I don't know. And like Dusty said too, it's one way. It's like the Live Tour is not banning. They're not doing that kind of stuff. It's all the PGA. They're just all butthurt about things. And even listen to the PGA commissioner bitch about it. It was actually I almost puked during that episode just how biased it was. And they're playing like, oh, big money, big money,
Big money bags.
yeah, money bags. Like, give me a break,
Well, what else is it? You think they're actually going there for the golf?
Reg.
No,
Like
No,
we
do you think
talked.
any of those guys are going there for golf?
Okay,
no,
I'll ask you the
Zero.
question that
That's all I'm gonna
DJ.
say.
No,
So do you like golf or do you like money? Like
answer
I don't
this.
know. That's why I'm not a fan of it. Yeah,
Okay,
I
well, if you're
already
gonna
told
just
you I would
talk
take
over
it.
me, then whatever. But if you,
I would take the money. Like I said, I would if it was me. But that's not what it is. I'm not getting offered it. It's the sport I watch, and these guys are, I don't know, whatever. I wanted to actually talk about something that Brooks was talking about, not dive back into Live
well, let's
about
hear
the
it.
episode.
okay, then we're off with
Yeah, enough talking about it because I
yeah.
fucking hate Live, and obviously you guys love it. So, uh, it just his quote was golf so crazy because when you have it, you feel like you're never gonna lose it, and when you don't have it, you feel like you're never gonna get it. And that's so accurate, man. When there's like a stretch of rounds when you're golfing, you honestly feel like you're never gonna. I mean, I came on here last year. We could probably find the clip. I thought I was gonna shoot no more than 3 over the whole year because I was under par for like 5 rounds in a row and I couldn't miss. And then all of a sudden you lose it, and then maybe you miss a men's night, and then you got something on that weekend. Then it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks before you get to golf again, and then you go back and it's just gone, and then you just can't find it again. It's such a crazy sport where, like they say, it's 90% mental. It's probably 99% mental, honestly.
Yeah,
Like it's so crazy.
it is.
Yeah, like episode 2 and 4 definitely showcase the mental aspects of it. First you get Brooks, and then the flip side of Brooks is Scheffler, and then again, completely different from them is Joel. Like, we won't get into that episode, and that episode is fucking unreal. But we won't get
That's
into
been
until
my
next week.
favorite so far too.
Yeah. But like, uh, Brooks, like he said, like I came up as the underdog. I was going against Spieth. I was going against Thomas. I didn't have the same talent. I didn't have the same opportunities they had. So I was the underdog. So he, like, that's what drove him, was being the underdog until he got to the PGA Tour and he was the motherfucking man for
Mhm.
3 years, right? So there had to have been like that shift there where he was like, holy shit, like I'm here.
Mhm.
Now what do I do? And
Yeah.
like since then, it's been a complete fall off the face of the cliff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
No.
know. And then also once you get up to that spot, like if he would have been playing the way he is, let's go back a year. If he would have been playing the way he is right now, I'm saying like how he was playing last year, when he didn't win the U.S. Open back to back and have all his success, nobody probably says anything, and there's no spotlight, there's no nothing. But then he got to the top, and then people expect him to be there every week. And then you go through some struggles, and then people expect you to be on that level all the time. So then you're telling yourself you need to get back to that level where maybe you just need to take a few steps, maybe get
Yeah.
back into the top 20, then top 10, then top 5, and then go. But you start trying to, and I can relate on a very small level, like a very small level, but just men's night, people always say, like, I thought you were a scratch golfer. Like, why are you shooting high 70s? And then you put that pressure on yourself that you have to do that every men's night. And he would have that pressure that he has to win every tournament. So you start
Times a
trying to
million.
you have to start trying to force things, and then he starts forcing it where he didn't have to before. He would just play his game. But now he's trying to prove to people that he is as good as he was. And then it's just a spiral. And then you get to the point where you don't know if you're ever going to, it's golf's so crazy mentally, man.
And
Like
then
unbelievable.
he's in absolute scramble mode. Like he's clawing at something, and
Mhm.
then it's Liv, right? So Liv's guaranteeing me all this money. So yes, he's going
Yeah.
to go there. I completely understand that too.
100%. Yes. 100%. I get
And
that part of it as well.
it seems like Brooks did a lot of that to himself, though, too, in terms of the
Partially.
pressure.
Well, no, because he won though too, and then he kind of started struggling. Right?
But
He got
just the
to world
shit that he
number one.
said about like
Yeah,
how
true.
he only tries in majors and all that kind of stuff, and then which is fine to say when you're winning majors, but then a year later when you can't even compete in like a normal event, you kind of look like a dipshit. But
Right, like sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say you go drums because I would just want to round out by saying, like, do you guys think more of Brooks or less of Brooks? And what about the Jenna parts of that show?
No.
So I was just quick. I was gonna say like, yeah, he was only focused on the majors, but he grew up following Tiger Woods. What was Tiger Woods known for? What was on Tiger Woods' wall when he was growing up? It was Jack Nicklaus's majors, and to get to that, so it was the same thing that he was. Majors are what actually matters. Everybody else has said that throughout this documentary too. Like JT and Spieth,
Yeah.
that's the focus has been on the majors.
Mhm.
So shit on him to say that that's what matters the most. I always kind of go back to that and say, like, does does he deserve that much shit for saying that too?
I think that he said he didn't like golf was the
Yeah.
weird part, but he was on the PGA.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And also the
His
trophy
wife.
wall with leaving the green jacket there. I feel like you're just cursing yourself. Like, I mean, I get the part where you're like confident that you're gonna win it and you're gonna fill the rack, but it's just like more unnecessary pressure that you're putting on yourself. And it's one thing to do it at your house, but then to go on Netflix and talk about how,
Yeah.
that you cannot tell me that doesn't cross his mind when he's playing in the Masters after that or at a turn. You know what I mean? Like there's just nothing to gain there. It's just all ego.
Yeah, I didn't even mind that much. Like I said, I think he was on this massive spiral. I think he still is in this spiral because he's already talked about how he's regretted uh, going
To
to live
live.
and wishes that he
Yeah.
never did. So like I said, he was grasping at something. Liv was the beacon of hope that he grabbed. Maybe that wall was like the vision board for himself. Like, okay, this is what I've already
Yeah.
accomplished. This is what's left to
Yeah.
accomplish. Yeah,
And that's
I
fair. But
took it. I took it that way.
you also don't go on Netflix and talk about your vision board to the world, though.
Yeah, but you are if they're in your house. Like, what are you gonna do? And the guy asks you about like everything of your life is on film.
Yeah. We should, yeah. The whole time when he had the clips of him with blonde hair, that's got to be the biggest regret of his life. But
drove me nuts.
we should also talk about a few things going on in the chat right now because there's some good stuff. Ches, we were talking about how Brooks needs to take it one step at a time. Ches says you can only climb a ladder one rung at a time. And Trev says can skip a few coming down, though. Gravity is undefeated. So what the Netflix crew was not afraid to put the lens on Jenna's butt there coming out of the pool, that's for sure.
No. Like, was she famous prior? Like, was she? What's her story? You know,
she's a supermodel.
She's a model. Makes sense. But I mean, like, even she said, like, when I first met him and when we first started dating, he was on top of the world, winning all this stuff. Like, I bet you that weighs on him too. Is like, if I'm a shitty golfer, is my wife still here? Or if I didn't have this money, would my wife still be here? Maybe that's why he clawed. I don't know. I think there's a ton on the mental side going on with Brooke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still trying to understand Brooks's. Like I said, I think that his personality, his persona, is kind of what the live guys were seeking out because they needed guys who were willing to, stick their chest out a little bit and say, like, I don't mind doing this. Guys like Poltz, that kind of stuff. But I don't know that the timing was great for Koepka. Because even though he hadn't won as much as of late, I still feel like he was still competing in events, not dominating them. But I still feel like he was in the mix, and I still feel like he had stuff to prove there. True. And he's nowhere near the end of his career, I don't think.
Do you think the brother aspect played a bit too?
With Chase?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they're on the same team now, right?
Right. Like if Liv would have been like, "Hey, come on over. We'll make sure your brother gets $8 million a year too."
I don't know. Is he the younger brother or older?
I don't know their history. What did you think? Did he gain traction, lose traction in your mind?
Me?
Brooke?
Yeah.
I honestly really used to like Brooks when he first came onto the scene. I remember Reggie and I saw his first win at the Waste Management back in 2017, 16, 15?
No, earlier than that.
And that was kind of the first we'd really ever heard of him. And so I think that was his first win on tour. And so we were kind of following him with dad and mom and dad too. And I don't know. I used to like Brooks. And then it was something, where he said that he doesn't like golf and he thinks it's not a real sport. And it just rubbed me the wrong way in a lot of ways. So I don't think he could have got much further down in my books. But you have to, I guess, feel some sort of connection with him and where he's at right now and feel some sort of sympathy for him. Even, he has a supermodel wife, he's living in this big mansion, but that really means nothing when you're in the headspace that he is right now. And that's a pretty tough spot to be. So, I mean, for him to be willing to talk about that on Netflix, I mean, I would say if anything, I gained a little bit of respect for him, but it was at an all-time low for me. So it would have been harder to go much lower. Poltz, on the other hand, though, you guys were talking about him. I thought that Poltz, my liking of Poltz went up for sure after watching that episode of him and his family, and the blow up too. I can't believe he thought that was fake drums.
Like he was mad, yeah, 100%. But I think the throw was fucking fake. I don't know. What does the chat think? Was that anybody else think that was? he did that for the camera. Like I'm a rager, you know that. That didn't seem like a rage to me.
No?
No, not at all.
Where are you guys at in the series right now? Have you finished them all?
Finished 4.
Reggie?
Whichever Fitzpatrick is, I finished that last night.
Did you?
That's 5.
Yeah.
Who's 6 then? Oh, that's Tony. That's where I'm at.
Uh,
I'm 6.
I actually love Fitzpatrick now, but we'll get to that too.
I said I'm not a big binge watcher, and I'm ahead of you guys in the race to finish the full swing.
Well, I keep getting shit because Liz wanted to watch it with me, but she's in bed asleep by 9 o'clock every night, and I gotta hammer through these for the pod, so I gotta go rogue.
For the
Yeah,
pod.
I haven't watched them alone too.
So Trev says I've heard for a bunch of the lesser known guys, presumably Chase being one of them, the money wasn't a signing bonus, it was an advance against their tournament earnings. What does that mean?
Like if
I guess
win,
if they signed on for 3 years, I guess their signing bonus was like the min for that number of events.
So if they whatever they make, they had to pay some of that back?
I got nothing.
Yeah, like it's an advance
That's what an
against their
advance would
tournament
be.
earning. So if you win, if you say you sign for 20 million, and then you get 20 million, and say you win 20 million in the first 4 tournaments, you don't actually get any of that.
Would it be the whole thing?
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
was.
Who knows? That's kind of crazy though, but I mean, you're still getting to keep it regardless. But if you don't win, do you have to pay it back? That's the question.
No, you just lose 1 finger per month probably.
Right, like Trevor says. So like
Yeah.
they have to hit a nut
Yeah, that makes
to
sense.
get over it.
Otherwise, guys would just sign it and then just quit golf, basically. Like not quit, but just quit practicing and quit doing anything to do with golf.
True. Yeah,
Which is
especially
what
some of
they
those guys who aren't used to that money.
Which is basically what they did when they went over that tour. But anyways,
That's
I guess we didn't talk much about Scotty. Like again, Brooks was the focus of that episode for sure.
Oh yeah, right.
but
Forgot about Scotty.
Scotty did win a major there.
nuts. His rise to fame was so fast, man. Like you actually like when I was watching, I completely forgot about how fast it all happened.
He's in like 3 months, and he's what 25? Like he looks like he's 47.
Of course, he's married already.
Yeah.
Who was in Poltz's episode with him?
Just pull some of the live stuff, right?
Oh yeah, okay. The live story.
Yeah.
I personally like Scotty Scheffler a lot more after watching that episode, and they probably didn't do enough coverage of him. Maybe just because he's kind of a boring guy without a whole lot of antics going on. But yeah, I gained a lot of respect for Scotty Scheffler after watching that. I kind of used to think he was a dork, but that changed. My mind changed on him, and there's a few guys like that. Even Matty Fitzpatrick. It seems like all these guys, Joel Damon too. I thought he was just a dweeb, but after hearing their stories, like that's why I love these Netflix specials. And even for guys who follow golf so closely, I never heard of this stuff. Some of the stuff that I've already learned on Netflix. So I would say that's a good thing for the series for sure. If you can get guys who watch golf and follow golf to learn something new in an episode, I think that's a success.
Made a big mistake, in my opinion, putting that JT Spieth one out first.
How come?
So I think it's been the worst episode of all of them. So if somebody, a non-golf fan, was watching that first episode,
Yeah.
I don't know if they continue, honestly.
You're probably right.
I don't know. Like, I did watch like the first 2 episodes with Liz, and after the first one, she's like, "Oh, okay. I'm pissed. I can't binge this." And I was like, "Really?" Because that was, I think, pretty renownedly known as the worst episode. And she's like, "Oh, cool." But she was like in from the first episode. And that again might just be because we know so much about it,
Yeah.
and we know so much even about the year and what they're going to cover.
Yeah, true.
Well, we should start wrapping stuff up here. We're at an hour 20. Do you guys have do you have segments tonight?
I have one, but we probably shouldn't. I'll just save it for next week.
No.
One
let's
quick
hear it.
one on Pulse. How about
Yeah,
he was
Reggie.
he was +4 handicap when he turned pro, PGA Tour.
He was what?
That's
He was a
it.
+4 handicap.
+1,
+4.
+4. What?
No,
What
sorry,
was
like
that?
a 4 handicap. 4 handicap.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. Really? That was pre-Tiger.
Pulse?
Yeah.
No, that would have been
Was he
after Tiger.
younger?
They're about
They're
the same
probably
age,
around
I
the
guess.
same age.
Well, Pulse is 45, so yeah, they're close to the same. But yeah, like it's crazy. Pulse was never like the most talented guy. Like he was just kind of that personality, and he just played that his entire career and life, and made a sick living and sick, uh, I guess, legacy to this point or to the live point.
And he's never lost a Ryder Cup match.
Nuts.
That is actually nuts.
And then they made sure to highlight that in a match play event against the PGA, he got absolutely dummied by all of them.
Oh yeah, who did he get shit kicked by? Was it Fitzy?
Yeah.
Fitzlog smoked
Fitz,
him off the hop,
Fitz
and then
just
Chef
laid a
did too.
beat down on him.
Yeah, that's when the club toss came out.
Have to love that. I love seeing that. But Pulse, yeah, he grew out in my mind on that episode. I still don't like him, but I like him more. He's done too many bad things for me in his life just to let 1 half-hour episode on him change everything. But I did gain some respect for him watching that.
They were pretty hard on his outfits throughout the whole thing, just like nonstop. Like,
Man, I thought that I wanted to bring that up. Imagine having what he has in your house
Like that closet.
when he's packing. Oh my God, all those clothes, man, is so sweet. I was
Unreal.
so jealous, man. Like, that's like a golfer's dream. Like, holy.
that is one thing that I would lean in on if I was rich, is I would have like a closet where like I wear every single item in there. They all fit me perfectly. They all look damn good, and the rest of them, as soon as they don't, they're gone, and I'm restocking it
100%.
for sure. Is Sergio in this series or not?
I don't believe
Hopefully
so.
not. I really hope not.
Yeah, I don't like Sergio either.
See, and I used to at some point.
Reggie, hit us with the stroke saver tonight, because as mentioned on last episode, we have been accumulating these. I kind of took a little break from it because there was a lot to try to do, but I'll be back at it. I've been putting Reggie's stroke savers on a little app called the Fountain app, which is very comparable to your normal Spotify podcast apps, except it has some cool features. You can earn Bitcoin while you listen, and you can take clips of the podcasts and put them into a playlist, which we've been doing. So I'm actually going to put the link. If somebody's listening to this right now, I'm going to leave a link to the Fountain app to get registered. And then all you have to do is search Kngdom Reggie, I think, right?
Just Kngdom.
Just Kngdom. So through there, you'll be able to watch or listen to the Kngdom, earn some free sats, and you can check out the playlists. If you want some refreshers on some of Reggie's stroke savers that he's done through the years, those will continue to be uploaded. So Reggie, what's up tonight?
It's another one of those mental things.
Oh, sorry.
Just treat.
Before you go forward, we were talking the other day, and you said you were reading one of my favorite books, which is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday.
So I haven't started that. I
Yeah.
haven't started this 4 Foundations yet because I want to finish that one. I have about half the book left.
Would you
I've been reading
recommend
it for 3
to
years.
people?
I've been reading it for like 3 years, but I'm back into it now. I really like it though. I honestly, if I liked reading, I'd be finished it in a day. it takes a lot for me. Like I'm so ADD that it takes like the right time for me to read like 4 chapters at once, and then
Yeah.
I can never just sit still and read. I have a really tough time doing it. I've gotten a lot better in the last month, but I'm I'm working on it. It's tough, but it is a very good book. It's lots of mental things, lots of cool things.
And not golf specific either, right?
Not even close. No.
Like that was one of the books I think that Rory talked about. That was kind of when Rory was struggling, and he got he put a lot of emphasis on the stoicism stuff, and that's what that book is ego is the enemy. It's talking about stoicism. Ryan Holiday has 3 or 4 books kind of talking about the same stuff, but ego is the enemy is the best of the bunch, I think. So sorry, Reggie, keep going.
No, it's just you know what? I'm going to save this for next week. My stroke saver this week. It's not really a stroke saver, but I bought the. I've talked about doing it on here before. I finally bought the membership for Fit for Golf.
Ugh.
It's at Ryan Carroll on Twitter. And is it Ryan Carroll? Mike Carroll. Mike Carroll. So I finally bought it. I had to pay $20 for the month. So I'm committed to doing it. I did one yesterday and one today. I
And it's workouts, right? Like guided
yeah,
workouts, or what is
but
it?
it's guided workouts, but it's strictly golf related, which really has my interest. Like it's usually it's just like the same old kind of workouts, like you do squats, you do push-ups, you do this.
Mhm.
This is actually like really cool, like torso rotations and stuff like that with weights, and I'm really into it. It's been 2 days, and I honestly can't wait to see what's on it tomorrow. So it seems like it's a lot of free for all. Like you kind of have to go through it yourself, and I thought it'd be more
Guided.
guided, but it really isn't. But it's got a place for a Fitbit, and it's got stuff like that where you could track all your meals and stuff on there too. I haven't dove too deep into that yet, but I think it's gonna be really cool. So I'm on day 2 of that. Yeah, just nice to be exercising again. And there's lots of cool little things that I could tell are gonna help with golf as far as movement and rotations and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Is it an app?
Yeah,
And what's the cost of it?
it's $20 a month.
And you'll tweet about it, or you're pretty back and forth with him all the time on Twitter, aren't you?
Well, I usually just ask him how to get signed up for it. I've asked him a couple
And what
times,
the
and
discount code is.
I finally went through it.
We should you should reach out to him, see if he has discount codes, see if we can offer anything on the podcast.
No, I tweeted him because in order to follow each other, or in order to message, you have to be following each other on Twitter for certain people. So I have to tweet at him because you can't just direct message because he's not following us. And I think he's too big to come on our podcast. He's got like a lot of a big
Also,
amount of
remember
followers.
we tried that before.
Welcome.
Yeah, we had
Mark.
CX. Yeah, Mark Cormier.
Yes, yeah, he was good shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, Reggie. You'll have to give us a weekly workout report of anything we could be working on. I would like to check that out. Do you need like a lot of weights or not?
No, I don't have a whole lot.
Can you share the password?
I don't know. I probably could, honestly. You could probably just use mine.
You'll be like Netflix where you only can have 4 people watching at one time.
For now.
You'd be like, he's like, these King golf guys are crooked, man. They're all using it. I can see.
Okay,
so it's not really a stroke saver, but it's really cool. I think it will help save strokes in the future here. Maybe his big thing is adding distance too, which is sweet. So
we'll have to have a long drive contest.
Maybe I'll be bombing it. Who knows? Too soon to say.
Do you want to have a long drive contest this summer?
Sure.
I don't think we ever have we?
Me and you?
Yeah.
It hasn't been that close since the last few years. No, I'm kidding.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's
no, but it never used to be. But it's definitely, you probably hit it farther than me now.
It's pretty. It's not that hard to beat a 50-yard snap hook into the trees. So
yeah, that's my go-to.
Yeah. That's what mine was too. Drums, you're gonna have to start hitting a fade. It's a big thing. It's a trend on the PGA Tour.
That was very clear this week.
Yeah, it's good to see. They must have been watching the Kingdom for the last couple of years.
That's it. That's the key.
Let's start wrapping up here. We're at $1:30 here, and that's way too long. Although, I mean, there was lots of chit chat in the house tonight. Reggie, I know you had a couple minutes when you felt like you were in an island, but I do respect you for taking a stand on something. It's not easy to go against the grain, even though I don't think it's the grain, because I think that there's a lot of people outside of these three people on the screen who would be heavily on your side of this. But it still takes a lot of balls to stand up for yourself. And so I respect that about you. And I just wish you would open your mind a little bit about it. That's it. Whether you do or not, I don't care, but I just wish you would. That's my only hope for all this. So
You too. If everything else didn't happen in the world in the last 2 years that happened, and then this was kind of a follow-up for you to go against it, I don't know how big of a support you would be on it. You two both idiots, but we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you might be right. Tough to say.
It is
But
kind
anyway,
of a whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
either way, it takes a lot of balls to stand up to two bulky guys like Drums and I. So
yeah, Dickie's on my team. Maybe we'll get Dickie and have a 4-way episode and talk about it. Because I feel like everything I say, I'm just up against the wall against you two guys.
Yeah,
so.
and that's fair. Tough spot to be. I've been there before in a lot of subjects, so I feel your pain. Drums, take us out of here. Thanks everybody once again in the chat. Great to have you here tonight. Thanks for spending the Wednesday with us. Take us away, Drummy.
Absolutely. What's the plan for next week? Are we going to do, how many episodes should we do? 3? Cover 3 up?
What did we do? 2 and 3 tonight? Let's do 4 and 5.
We should probably do 5, 4, 5, 6 because we don't have Genesis or Tiger to talk about. So
yeah, true.
That.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you are
4, 5,
not
6
caught up with us, or if you're past us, that's what we're going to be covering next week, I believe.
We said that I'm done 5, right?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, I'm not gonna have any time to watch it from like now till like next
a week.
Yeah, I'm really honestly, I'm gone the whole weekend, and I'm busy tomorrow night. But I only have one episode, so I'll be able to pull it off.
We'll maybe talk about some things or not next week. We'll see. Thanks to everybody for joining us again this week, though. We will see you next week. Same place as always. Love you, boys. Later.
Peace. Love you, fellas.
See you, boys.
See you next week.